I thought it was over. I moved on with life. Finished school. Got a job. Got married. Even had a baby girl. Her name is Tommy. She's 5 now. Bright, curious, always asking questions. She likes to draw trees. Forest. Sometimes she says, "Daddy, I saw this place in my dream." The drawings always make me uneasy. They look like Oro Rock. I never told her about it. Never even mentioned that part of my life. I buried that chapter. But the past doesn't stay buried. It digs itself up. Last week, something happened. Tommy woke me up in the middle of the night. She stood by my bed, holding her teddy bear. "Daddy," she whispered, "there's someone in my room." I sat up fast. "Who?" She pointed toward the hallway. "A woman." I jumped up and rushed to her room. Nothing. The lights were off. The window was shut. I checked the whole house. Every room. Nothing. She sat on the bed, still holding her bear. Her face was strange, she said. Like a balloon. My heart nearly stopped. I didn't tell my wife. I just nodded and held her. 2 nights later, I found something under her bed. A strip of red cloth. Old, dusty, folded neatly. I didn't touch it. I picked up my daughter and took her to the living room to sleep beside me. I didn't sleep all night. The next morning, I went back to the room. The cloth was gone. That's when I knew. It had started again. But not with me. With her. That evening, I called Connor. We hadn't spoken in years. He sounded surprised, but not too surprised. "You're calling because something came back," he said. "Yes," I replied. "My daughter." He went quiet for a long time. Then he said, "They don't forget, Depo. You can leave them, but if they choose to return, they'll come through whatever door is open." I asked, "What door?" He said, "Children." Then he hung up. I sat on the floor of my kitchen for almost an hour. I thought about the laughter I once heard. The man with the cowries. The God. The rule about not speaking. I knew what I had to do. But it scared me more than anything. Because this time, I wasn't going alone. 2 days ago, I packed a bag. I told my wife we were going to see family in Abeokuta. Just me and Tommy. She didn't argue. We arrived in the village yesterday. The people are older now. Quieter. Some of them looked at Tommy the same way they once looked at me. With pity. One old man said, "She's marked." I asked him what he meant. "She walks with someone else's shadow," he said, then turned away. "We are staying in the same lodge. It smells like dust and smoke." Tommy didn't want to sleep at first. She said the walls were whispering. Last night, she drew a picture. A big tree. A stone. And a woman with no face. She handed it to me and said, she wants us to come see her. I asked, "Did she tell you that?" Tommy nodded. "She said you promised." I didn't. But maybe I did, in some way. Maybe just returning wasn't enough. Maybe she was waiting for this moment all along. This morning, I put the drawing in my pocket. We are hiking to the stone now. The forest feels the same. Still. Heavy. Tommy walks ahead of me, holding my hand. She doesn't seem scared. I'm the one who's terrified. The wind is rising. The trees are swaying like they recognize me. We are almost at the place now. And I know she'll be there. Waiting. Just like before. But this time, I won't run. This time, I'm ready. Even if it means I don't come back. We reached the clearing just before noon. The light didn't reach this part of the forest properly. The sky was bright, but everything here felt dim. Like the trees were holding the sunlight back on purpose. Tommy let go of my hand and walked ahead. I wanted to stop her, but I couldn't move. My feet were stuck. Not by roots or vines, by fear. She stepped toward the stone. The red cloth was still there, tied the same way as years ago. But there was something new. The door. Old. Handmade. Tied with palm fronds and little cowries for eyes. It was sitting right beside the stone. Tommy didn't touch it. She looked around, then whispered, "She's here." I looked too, but saw nothing. No shadow. No face. No sound. Just stillness. Then Tommy turned to me. She said, "You have to speak." I shook my head. No. No, I'm not supposed to. She said, "This is the last time that you owe her your voice." The air grew thick. I felt it again, that heavy breath on the back of my neck. Then I heard the laugh. That dry, crackling laugh. The same one from 10 years ago. It was coming from inside the stone. Not behind it. Not around it. Inside. The laugh stopped. Then, silence. Tommy was still looking at me, calm, like none of this scared her. I stepped forward. I pulled the drawing she made from my pocket and placed it on the stone. I looked around. No one. Then I did something I hadn't done in a long time. I spoke. "I'm sorry." The ground shook. Not much, just a little. Like something big had taken a step underground. Tommy looked at me. She accepts. The air shifted. Something moved behind the trees. I didn't see it clearly. Just the shape. Tall. Thin. Head tilted sideways. It didn't come close. It just watched. Then, slowly, it turned and walked back into the woods. Tommy sat on the stone. I rushed over. "We need to go." She looked up at me. She said, "I'm free now." I didn't ask what that meant. I just picked her up and started walking. The air felt lighter. I could breathe again. The trees didn't feel like they were closing in anymore. We made it back to the lodge just before sunset. Tommy slept easily for the first time in weeks. No tossing. No mumbling. Just soft, steady breathing. I sat beside her bed all night, just watching. Waiting. But nothing came. We returned to Lagos the next day. My wife asked how the trip went. I just said, "Good." I didn't know how to explain it. That night, while unpacking, I found the drawing. Only it was different now. The woman in the picture had a face. It wasn't blank anymore. It looked like someone I used to know. Not someone from real life, but someone from dreams. Her eyes were small and sunken. Her lips stretched too wide. Still, somehow, it looked like she was smiling. A week passed. No shadows. No whispers. Tommy laughed more. Played more. Ate more. Whatever it was over. Until yesterday. She came into the living room with her teddy bear. "Daddy," she said, "I think she left something in my room." I froze. "What?" She said, "It's not for me. It's for the next one." I didn't want to ask. But I did. "What did she leave?" Tommy smiled. And pointed to her closet. I walked over. I opened it slowly. Inside, sitting neatly on the floor, was a small god. Just like the one the Babalawo gave me years ago. Wrapped in red cloth. I didn't touch the god. I couldn't. It was tied shut with a string of small bones. Not animal bones, these were too thin, too perfect. Maybe bird. Maybe something else. My hands were shaking. Tommy stood behind me, still holding her bear. She said not to open it, she whispered. "Not yet." I backed away and closed the closet. My wife called from the kitchen, asking what we were doing. "Nothing," I said. My voice cracked. That night, I waited until everyone was asleep. Then I went back to the closet. I stared at it for almost an hour. The god didn't move. It didn't hum or shake or glow. It just sat there, quiet. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning, I took it to a church downtown. A big Pentecostal one. The kind that does deliverance prayers. I didn't tell them the full story. Just said I found something strange in my daughter's room and I wanted to break any curses. They prayed. They shouted. They poured oil on it. Then they told me to burn it. I nodded. But I didn't burn it. Something inside me said not to. Instead, I took it to the ocean. Early morning. Bar Beach. I walked to the edge of the water and threw it in. The waves took it. I stood there, watching it float away. But before it vanished, it turned once. Just spun in place, like it was saying goodbye. Or warning me. A month passed. No more signs. No more voices. Tommy forgot about the cloth. Forgot about the woman. Life went back to normal. Almost. There's a small scar on Tommy's shoulder now. A tiny mark, shaped like a cowrie shell. We didn't notice it until last week, after bath time. It doesn't hurt her. But sometimes, when the light hits it just right, it looks like it's glowing. My wife thinks it's a birthmark. I don't correct her. What would I say? How do you explain to someone that your child was marked by something old and ancient and angry? You don't. You just protect them. However you can. I told Connor everything. He didn't sound surprised. He said, the forest never lets go. It only waits. I asked what that meant. He didn't answer. Just told me to keep salt near the doors. Palm oil under the child's bed. I don't know if it works. But I do it anyway. Last night, Tommy had a dream. She came to me in the morning, rubbing her eyes. She's in the water now, she said. Who? The lady. She's swimming. Did she say anything? Tommy shook her head. She just waved. Then she went to play. I sat on the edge of the bed for a long time after that. Thinking. Remembering. I wonder how many others have followed voices into the forest. How many never came back? How many made it out, but left part of themselves behind? We don't talk about these things in cities. Too modern. Too busy. Too logical. But deep down, we know. We know there are places where the rules don't work. Where the dead are not really dead. Where names still carry weight. Where spirits can wait centuries for someone to answer a call. So if you ever go hiking in Nigeria, or anywhere, really, and you see something strange, a red cloth tied to a stick, a doll made from leaves, a stone that hums when you get too close, don't touch it. Don't listen. Don't follow. Because even if you make it out alive, you might bring something back with you. And it might not come for you right away. It might wait. Yes. Until you have a daughter. Or a son. And then, when the time is right, it'll call again.